Tim, I think you've got Matt Brunson lined up, and looks like he's going to be talking about a Frank Capra film that we've already mentioned. So let's get Brunson on this Zoomer net, and then we'll see who else we got lined up. Hey, and welcome, Matt Brunson. Good to see you, man. So glad you could join us again. We had you for the 400th, and we're having you back talking about the same film, but it's appropriate because this is the holiday episode. And, you know, this film, It's a Wonderful Life, is one that was released after Christmas. It wasn't an original success. It was based on this book from this guy who actually wrote the same screenplay. I think the guy's name is Philip Van Duren Stern, if I got that right. He wrote it in 1939 and couldn't get a publisher, and then 4 years later decided to send it out with Christmas cards, and then it became this classic film that we all know about every single Christmas now.
Yeah, it's definitely a classic, and it's definitely my favorite. I'm a real traditionalist when it comes to Christmas movies. I'm not a fan of like Home Alone or the Santa Claus, but I do like Bad Santa. I guess that's a weak side of me. But I love the older stuff like Miracle on 34th Street and Meet Me in St. Louis and all. But It's a Wonderful Life is definitely my favorite. It's one I've seen countless times. It's one of those, if I had to go with the top 10 movies I've seen the most in my life, that would be one of them because I've seen it so many times. Well, one thing is the spiritual nature of the movie. Whether you're Christian or not, there's just such a soulful aspect about it that really touches something inside you. And it's the whole story, basically, of, in a way, one man's redemption. And, you know, he's a good guy all his life, and then all these terrible things happen to him. So he has some divine intervention that ends up, you know, giving him an alternate view of what his life would be like if he had never existed. And it's just an incredibly moving movie just to see both that, when he's not around, what happens to all these other people, right, and then what ultimately happens to him. Because as I mentioned before, the movie is really darker than people give it credit for.
Right.
Lionel Barrymore plays Mr. Potter, the villain of the piece, and it's like Pinocchio, where the bad guy in Pinocchio gets away. This is the same thing. He never gets punished. And James Stewart's character, George Bailey, he's pretty nasty to Uncle Billy there for a bit. Basically slapping him around when he thinks he lost the money. So it's not just a, you know, happy, feel-good movie. It has some real depth to its emotions, and I think that's one of the things that makes it enduring.
Awesome. If there's one word that you could use to describe this film, It's a Wonderful Life, what would that word be?
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Well, Matt, thanks for joining us. Matt Brunson right here for the holiday special. So good to see you, man, and hope you have a wonderful season ahead.
Likewise.